My Dark Escape. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's known here, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report was sent in by Dazai when this happened, October 24th through the 25th in 2019. The drugs used were Datura, CBD, and alcohol at a dose of 20 Datura seeds. The route of administration, he noted 20 seeds isn't enough, which, isn't exactly a route of administration, but we'll just leave it at that. Gender, male. Weight, 225 pounds. Age, 19. Height, 5'9". Prior experience includes alcohol, marijuana, mushrooms, and LSD, and the setting was inside his apartment, the college campus outside, and the college campus clubroom. So this is kind of more of a serious report. The mental state of this individual at the time was pretty grim on the outlook of life, but it does also help explain what may cause a person to end up doing Datura and, wanting to do more of it, which makes it a pretty unique report at that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and without further ado, let's dive right into it. Datura Report Number 1. 32 seeds used in 24-hour period. Forward. I'm not going into too much detail of what Datura is. All I will say is that it is a poisonous nightshade plant that can be used recreationally as a delirium drug. Safe dosages on this drug are very hard to figure out. In a way, it's safe to say that there are no safe dosages. This drug is basically a poison. In fact, throughout history, it has been used as a poison on numerous occasions. Why did I choose this drug, you might ask? It's simple. To escape reality. I hate this fucking world more than anything. Using recreational drugs is the only thing that helps me escape this world. So, that's exactly what I do. I found out about Datura from a YouTube video about some people's bad experiences with it. The word bad doesn't faze me in this case. I liked everything else I heard. Very intense hallucinations that can't be distinguished from reality. That's what I want. No, I was not ignorant. I knew very well that I could accidentally kill myself with the wrong dosage. But that didn't matter to me. It's a win-win whether I die or live, in my opinion. If I live, I disassociate from reality. If I die, I permanently separate myself from reality. No, this is not a suicide note. In fact, when I initially ordered the seeds, I began writing a Datura suicide note. I was very much prepared to die. I wanted to leave something behind for those who I believed cared about me. Things have changed. I remember I was talking to my Twitter friend who was going to distribute the note if I didn't respond to him in 3 days. And I told him I was going to take one of the doses. He asked if I had sent him the note yet. I replied, no, there's no need anymore. I have nothing left to say to anyone. I truly have no one left in this world that I want to say anything to. This writing isn't really meant to be distributed, at least to people I know. I just figured that any information I have on the drug can be useful to any other brave warriors who want to take it. Whether I live or die, other people need to see this, just to have more knowledge on a plant that is otherwise completely mysterious. Thursday, October 24th, around 2 p.m. Accidental intoxication. The plan was simple. Crush the seeds, mix them into chocolate milk, and drink. I took out 10 seeds from a packet and put them in a plastic bag. I attempted to crush them with a knife, both the blade and the handle. No luck. These seeds were very hard. I then put them in my grinder for CBD and weed and attempted to crush them with that. Some did get crushed, but others remained intact. I gave up, emptied them in a pot, and slowly began mixing them in chocolate syrup. I gradually would add in milk so the chocolate and milk would mix well. While doing so, I taste tested maybe 1 or 2 spoonfuls. After I finished, I poured the mixture in a cup for later consumption. Shortly after, I felt dizzy and disoriented. I realized a little bit after that I may have accidentally intoxicated myself with either holding the seeds with my bare hands or the few spoonfuls. I was supposed to go to class at 3:30, but realized I cannot in that current state. Thursday, October 24th, around 5 p.m., half a cup of chocolate milk, around 5 seeds. I invited over a few friends over to supervise me. They really weren't there for my safety, though. They were there because I offered to order in food for them to eat. When they arrived, I ordered the food and drank half of the chocolate milk. I decided to drink only half because of how strong the intoxication from earlier was. The drunk-like feeling came back a little stronger, but nothing too major. Thursday, October 24th, around 8 p.m. Second half, a cup of chocolate milk, around 5 seeds. Same as earlier, I felt the drunk sensation again, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted to hallucinate. The third friend left, and I was alone. I was ready to give up the night and try again next week with the remaining seeds. Thursday, October 24th, around 9:30 p.m. 10 seeds, chewed. I was bored, on my computer. At that point, I realized that there was no point in waiting for the next dose. I counted 10 seeds and threw them in my mouth. If memory is correct, they tasted like morning glory seeds. I can't explain that taste too well, with a hint of tobacco-type scent. It was disgusting. I washed it down with Gatorade. No drunk-like side effects this time. As I began lying in bed, my mouth became incredibly dry. I grew excited. I know what you're thinking. Why the fuck would that excite you? The answer is that is one of the common Datura side effects. I felt like it might have been working. I tried to stay hydrated before I went to sleep, but with no prevail. I just gave up and passed out around 1 a.m. 3 or so hours later, around 4, I woke up shivering with an extremely dry mouth, like my mouth had never been this dry before. I drank some water, but to no prevail again. I don't know what I dreamt about, but it had to be something very intense if I was shivering. I checked my phone, and I had received a call from Reptile, a whore who I decided to name after the NIN song, since she is the embodiment of the reptile. This was strange. The day before, I told her I wanted to permanently cut ties with her. I was pretty sure we both agreed to not be friends anymore. I then started thinking about how Datura's hallucinations are difficult to distinguish from reality. Could this have been a hallucination on a Datura trip? No, at least I don't think so. If it is, I could be tripping right now and be unaware of it. I texted her and said, "Is everything okay? It says you called an hour ago." I went back to sleep despite the dry mouth and shivering. I woke up a few more times after, but finally decided to get up around 11. I received a text back from her, and she said, "Yeah, it was an accident. Sorry." I felt a little reassured. That seemed a little more realistic, and it helped me realize I wasn't hallucinating. Anyway, my guess is she was changing my contact name to something bad and accidentally clicked call. I can't imagine anything else. Friday, October 25th, around 11 p.m. 12 seeds laced in CBD. I decided to give it a final shot. I really wanted to escape reality, and I was all out of LSD and shrooms. I put my last 12 seeds in my grinder, and I ground them up. Then I ground up some CBD. I emptied the grinder on my desk and mixed them with an old credit card. I put the mixture in a joint and went outside to smoke it. Upon returning, I felt kind of high, like I had just smoked weed. After an hour of that, I decided to up the ante. I poured some Everclear in a cup and mixed in some iced tea. I drank it. The effects of that were different than a regular drunk. I felt like my body was more in control, but my brain felt kind of scrambled. I then rolled up another CBD joint and smoked it outside. After a few hours, around 5, I crashed. I felt like utter shit. I felt so disoriented. It kind of reminded me of the time I took 3 LSD tabs with some alcohol. I guess mixing drugs can bring out any number of unpredictable effects, so I assumed that's what happened. Around 7, I had to go to Anime Club because I was the one responsible for bringing the Amazon Fire Stick, which we used to stream the anime. I was feeling a little better, so I figured the Datura was out of my system. Halfway through club, my heart started racing and my vision was fading in and out. I was even wearing my glasses, but I was having trouble seeing at times. I was also starting to sweat. I decided to check my pulse, and I was doing around 160 heartbeats per minute. That's the kind of heart rate you get from a workout, yet I was sitting down doing absolutely nothing. We were supposed to watch only 3 episodes in club that day, and I was ready to bolt out and go back to my apartment. That was when the reptile made me play another episode. I briefly stepped out to breathe in the bathroom. My pupils were really dilated. I endured the rest of that episode and bolted out, around 9:30, stumbling as if I was drunk and clutching my chest. No one really asked me what was wrong, mainly because no one actually cares. It was sort of like a long anxiety attack, but it had no end. As I got outside, it was dark, but there were bright lights everywhere. Not only was my vision still fucking with me, but I found the bright lights extra disorienting. Occasionally, I would feel like I was being followed, but it was just my shadow. When I was walking, I had headphones on, and I was listening to music to calm down. I was startled by a loud noise. It was hard to make out what it was, but it sounded like either a car revving its engine or crashing. There was no car in sight. I usually don't get startled easily, but I was definitely scared. I finally made it back to my apartment around 10 p.m. I went to the bathroom, but not a whole lot came out. I do not think I was fully constipated. Then I sat down to write all of this. Datura Report Number 1 Conclusion. I still feel like crap, but not as bad. I am certainly not done with Datura. I ordered more seeds, even some dried up leaves. I want to get the full effects of it. Next time, I'm going to take a higher dosage. I don't care what happens to me. In fact, I am prepared for my next time using Datura to be my last. I have no regrets, and I have nothing left to say to anyone. I hope the next batch of Datura will come in the mail by next Thursday. That is my next planned dosage. Despite me only receiving the negative effects this time, this excites me. I see dealing with a disoriented mind and body as a fun challenge. A challenge I cannot wait to conquer. Even in death, I still have won. I am the ultimate winner. I am not mad. I am saner than I have ever been. I am not dead. I am more alive than I have ever been. I even have more perspective on those around me who I call friends. I am truly alone in this world, but I am fine with that. Want to know something? I only turned to drugs because I had nothing to look forward to in my life. I had nothing to hold on to. Things have changed. I am actually looking forward to my next Datura dosage because it's a new challenge for me to conquer. It's the only thing I have to hold on to now. I don't care if I die or live, but what I do care about is the journey that I take to decide my fate.